Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching us today. We're at Interop New York 2011. On our program is David White. He's the SVP of Business Development at Ipanema Technologies. His company makes WAN governance solutions. And David, welcome.
Thank you, Rich. Appreciate the opportunity.
So we're thrilled to have you here. I was hoping we could delve into WAN governance and what that means exactly.
WAN governance really relates to the ability to guarantee application performance over the wide area. IT governance exists as an ISO standard, but WAN governance is really adding to that ISO standard for the WAN.
So as companies start to deploy more and more of their solutions in the cloud, they've got to get their networks ready for that transition. They need to make sure that applications are running correctly, performance is there. How do you assist them with that kind of transition?
First of all, it's very necessary to provide enterprises for the ability to manage that environment, because moving into a cloud is more complex, and it's far more difficult because you don't know where your data is sometimes, and you're also having WAN links come from different providers. Maybe a SaaS provider, certainly a lot over the internet, as well as your core business apps that are on a Metro Ethernet or MPLS. So what we do is we manage the performance of your critical applications regardless of what the network looks like. And that includes doing it over a hybrid network that can be internet and MPLS, for example.
So competitively, what are you seeing in the market?
We see a lot of what I would call point solutions, where people are trying to have maybe a software product that goes in and says, well, here's the problem in your cloud implementation, and then give you data to solve it. The problem with that is it really isn't fixing a problem. It's giving you data that allows you to potentially fix your problem, but it's hard in a complex meshed cloud environment. What we do is we do it dynamically. So once performance objectives have been set, those are maintained regardless of what the network looks like, and so all the changes are done instantly.
So in terms of the international space and comparing that to the US space, are you seeing more growth outside this country or inside, or what's happening?
Well, as a European company, we're a French company, we certainly continue to see a lot of growth in Europe, but we're also seeing tremendous growth in the US. In fact, cloud adoption is faster in the US than it is in Europe. So certainly we're seeing a lot of growth in North America overall.
And we anticipate that Europe will just be a little behind, but it'll catch up.
A little behind, but very aggressive and maybe a little more service provider focused. A lot of our customers are the major service providers in Europe, and they're very aggressive from a cloud standpoint, whereas in the US it's more the enterprises that are driving the business.
Well, companies like Amazon as well, I would think, right?
And the hosting companies like Amazon, absolutely.
Amazing. Yeah, so it's interesting how in the US we've got kind of the dot-coms leading the charge. And in Europe, it's the carriers.
In Europe, it's the carriers. Quite a bit different, although there are hosting companies in Europe too.
Sure.
But they're not as prevalent as they are in the U.S.
What about Asia?
Asia, much slower. The developing countries are all trying to do things, but it's difficult in China and in India and in Japan, in the large markets, for them to move ahead. And there's so much fiber in Japan that they're very slow to adopt anything that would be related to a cloud environment.
So what's next for the company?
Next for the company is a couple of things. We're going to be announcing next week a very low-cost device. In fact, 10 times less expensive than the closest competitor, to really optimize and provide for dynamic WAN switching, or as Gartner now calls it, WAN path controllers at a remote branch office.
So does that take about 1/10 the price? Is that?
You'll be able to get a device that does 20 megs with dynamic WAN switching for under $1,000.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive, and that's next week, you said,
It'll
right?
be announced next week, and
Okay.
you're the first to hear it, by the way.
Wow. Well, we appreciate the scoop. Thank you so much, and welcome. You're welcome back to the show anytime.
Thank you. Appreciate
Okay?
it.
Thanks.